Right now on Morning News Now, President Trump doubling down on his plans to downsize the federal government with a surprise Oval Office appearance by billionaire Elon Musk.
We want to weed out the corruption, and it seems hard to believe that a judge could say, we don't want you to do that. Well, so maybe we have to look at the judges.
The people voted for major government reform, and that's what people are going to get. They're going to get what they voted for.
Now federal courts challenging the limits of presidential power as federal workers brace for more cuts. Plus, an American teacher back in the U.S. after 3 years in a Russian prison. We have team coverage. Also this morning, uncertainty in the Middle East. Israel now threatening to end a ceasefire deal if Hamas doesn't release more hostages by this Saturday. We'll bring you the latest. Plus, digging out, developing this morning, a powerful winter storm bearing parts of the East Coast in several inches of snow. And in California, fire-ravaged neighborhoods now bracing for what could be the biggest storm of the year so far. We're tracking the conditions across both coasts. And deja brew. First it was eggs, now coffee costs are on the rise. We will spill the beans on the most important meal of the day, getting more and more expensive. Bad news for this morning show anchor. Good morning. I'm Savannah Sellers. Great to have you with us this Wednesday. Joe's off this morning. We're going to get started with the homecoming of an American teacher held by Russia for more than 3 years. 63-year-old Marc Fogel, who was sentenced to 14 years in prison for possession of medical marijuana, arrived last night at the White House and was greeted by President Trump, where Fogle expressed his gratitude for his family.
My family has been a force. I think my 95-year-old mother is probably the most dynamic 95-year-old on earth right now. And I am so indebted to so many people.
This comes as the Trump administration continues his campaign to shake up the federal government. The Inspector General at the U.S. Agency for International Development, that's USAID we've been talking about, they're fired yesterday, a day after his office released a report detailing the negative impact of the administration's downsizing of the agency. Meanwhile, President Trump says he's giving Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency more power over the federal workforce. We have team coverage ahead this hour, including the latest in the legal battle over federal funding. We'll get to that with Danny Savalos, but let's begin with NBC News senior White House correspondent Garrett. Hey, Garrett, good morning. So let's start with where we just started a moment ago, the return home of Marc Fogel. What do we know about the details of his release from Russia?
Well, Savannah, frankly, very little. The White House says these negotiations have been going on for a little while and that they hope they will be a sign of good faith for negotiations that might ultimately lead to the end of the war between Russia and Ukraine. But this involved a number of officials, notably Steve Witkoff, who's actually the White House's envoy for Middle Eastern negotiations. He's the one who flew. You see him there with the tan jacket, actually, with his back to the camera there at the White House. Flew on his own plane to Russia to pick up Fogle. Now, the Russians have indicated that this is part of an exchange, likely for one other individual, but the Russians aren't naming who that person is and kind of admonish the United States for how much of a show was put on here with Fogle. They seem to want to keep their end of the bargain here secret. So hopefully more information comes out about that today. But for right now, the Kremlin and the White House both aren't talking about what was at the other end of this exchange.
Yeah, President Trump teased also the fact that another prisoner could be released today, so we should eventually be receiving more information. Garrett, as we've mentioned, Paul Martin, that's the Inspector General of USAID, an organization we've been talking a lot about here. He's been fired. It comes after the agency released a report highlighting the dangers associated with a gap in staffing and lack of oversight after, of course, many of their employees were let go and the agency has really been kind of cooled down. Walk us through what led to this move from the White House and what we think this means for USAID moving forward.
Yeah, kind of a don't let the door hit you on the way out sort of firing here from the White House, and who you'll remember in the first week of the Trump administration fired a number of IGs across other agencies in the government. It's not clear, and the White House has yet to respond to our direct questions about this, about whether the lack of firing the USAID Inspector General earlier was an oversight or whether this was someone who they had intended to keep on. But that Inspector General coming up with this one last bruising report about the effects on the agency of the moves that the administration was taking to basically shutter elements of it. I think what the White House's view here is that they're moving USAID entirely under the auspices of the State Department, that they probably don't need an Inspector General just to handle USAID matters going forward. But again, this kind of one last damning report about exactly what the human and material costs are of shuttering this agency while it's trying to do its work.
Absolutely. Garrett, also, I'm just asking you about it all here. The Trump administration continues to fill out its cabinet. So votes that had been planned for yesterday are expecting them today. Confirm Tulsi Gabbard, that's President Trump's pick for Director of National Intelligence. Also Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s nomination for Health Secretary. What do we think could happen today? Are there obstacles in their way that would mean that either of them do not move all the way forward?
Yeah, look, both of these votes looked like they were going to be a lot closer a week ago, but now it seems likely, if not certain, that both of these former Democrats are going to be confirmed to Donald Trump's cabinet, with the majority, perhaps all Republicans supporting. Folks like Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski, who had voted against Pete Hegseth's nomination, have both come out saying that they intend to support both of these nominees. To the degree that there are wild cards remaining on the Republican side, they are, ironically, Mitch McConnell, the former majority leader, and John Curtis, who took Mitt Romney's seat in Utah. They've been more skeptical of these nominees and have a bit more of an independent streak based on different elements of their position in the party that could get them to vote no. But that's just 2 Republican no votes. If every other Republican sticks together, both of these nominees would be confirmed without J.D. Vance having to come back from Europe to cast a tie-breaking vote.
Garrett Haake, like I said, covering it all. We appreciate it. Thanks so much. Well, that fight over the future of USAID is one front in the brewing battle over the powers of the executive branch when it comes to federal spending. With Elon Musk at his side in the Oval Office yesterday, President Trump's claims the downsizing effort has already exposed billions of dollars of government waste and corruption. NBC News senior White House correspondent Gabe Gutierrez has the details.
Tech titan Elon Musk with his young son in the Oval Office.
If we don't do something about this deficit, the country's going bankrupt.
Defending his aggressive push to downsize the federal government.
If you have rule of the bureaucrat, if the bureaucracy is in charge, and then what meaning does democracy actually have?
But the leader of President Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, the wealthiest man in the world whose businesses have massive federal contracts, was also pressed about potential conflicts of interest.
All of our actions are fully public. I fully expect to be scrutinized and get a daily proctology exam, basically. Might as well just camp out there. So it's not like I think I can get away with something.
Following criticism from Musk, the Department of Homeland Security firing several FEMA workers, accusing them of circumventing leadership by using taxpayer money to pay for New York City hotels for migrants.
The public is saying, why are we paying all this money? This for years. This has gone on.
But Musk was pressed about what Democrats call a hostile takeover of government.
You couldn't ask for a stronger mandate. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what people are going to get.
Democrats also argue a constitutional showdown may be brewing as the Trump administration faces mounting legal challenges over its cost-cutting moves.
Public employees who serve this country well. You should be respected, not rejected.
Over the past week, judges have temporarily hit the brakes on President Trump's freezing of some federal spending, which was challenged by several blue states, and offering federal workers buyouts opposed by some unions.
And now a judge who's an activist judge wants to try and stop us from doing this. Why? Why would they want to do that? I campaigned on this. I campaigned on the fact that I said government is corrupt. And it is.
Vice President J.D. Vance in Paris after suggesting judges aren't allowed to control the president's legitimate power, setting up a new battle over presidential authority.
The issue here isn't the courts trying to control the president. It's the president trying to control the law.
I agree wholeheartedly with Vice President J.D. Vance. What DOGE is doing is making sure that your taxpayer dollars, all of us, are spent in the way that they're intended to be spent.
President Trump.
Maybe we have to look at the judges. I think it's a very serious violation.
Saying he'll follow court rulings.
I always abide by the courts, and then I'll have to appeal it.
Our thanks to Gabe Gutierrez for that report. Well, so far, President Trump has not committed to seeking congressional approval for the massive overhaul of federal agencies he and Musk are pushing for. Well, NBC News has learned that a senior official at the Federal Emergency Management Agency, that's FEMA, is getting swept up in the legal challenges over the president's attempt to exert control over federal spending. That official ignored a court order by instructing her subordinates to freeze funding for multiple grant programs. According to screenshots of an email obtained by NBC News, the official followed President Trump's memo calling for a freeze of federal funding. It happened on Monday, just hours after a federal judge issued a court order demanding that the Trump administration release those funds. In the email, which was shared by a recipient who requested anonymity due to fear of retaliation, a FEMA director told her team to pause funding for awards programs. It includes financial assistance for things like emergency preparedness, firefighting, and protecting churches from terrorism. The senior FEMA official who sent the email didn't respond to NBC News' request for comment. That was a lot there. So let's bring in Danny Savalas here on set to talk through it. Okay, so this is sort of like, correct me if I'm wrong, this is how federal employees are kind of getting swept up in this kind of tug of war between the president and executive power and these federal courts. This one particular employee following President Trump's orders, coming, though, after a court said, hey, that's not happening right now. Explain kind of the awkward legal position that some of these federal employees are in.
This is a really difficult spot because defiance of a court order is contempt. It could be even criminal contempt. There's civil contempt and criminal contempt. And individuals within the executive branch are far more susceptible to being held in contempt than the executive himself, than the president, because you run into all kinds of immunity and separation of powers issues. But I suspect that it would be much easier to hold someone in the administration liable or guilty for contempt. The problem is that person is probably also getting orders from his superior, his or her superior, saying, this is what you are directed to do. And now we have a classic, I was ordered to do it defense. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but that is the conflict that we see potentially happening with these folks in the administration, not the president himself, but the people carrying out the policy.
This also comes as we've been playing for viewers this morning. We heard the comments from President Trump. Maybe we need to look at the judges if they are opposed to, cutting federal spending. It comes as Elon Musk. There's a picture right there, right now. He might be saying that in this picture when he said that this is what the people voted for and we're going to give it to them. For people who are hearing those comments and then wondering, so what are these judges saying? Why are they pausing this? Why are they saying that it can't go forward? What's happening?
Yeah, this is a centerpiece of Trump's statements. They're vague enough that you're not entirely sure what he means. When he says, look at judges, that could mean I'm going to appoint more judges that I like, which is perfectly fine. If it means something else, like ignoring what they tell us to do and ignoring court orders, that may not be so fine, at least constitutionally speaking. But going forward, I mean, until the administration gives an order to defy court orders, then, that could be a situation where we have that dreaded word constitutional crisis, potentially.
There's been a lot of talk, like opinion columns, that kind of thing, where are we on this cusp of a constitutional crisis? I mean, obviously there was specific ones like birthright citizenship, that kind of executive orders that directly were in conflict with the Constitution. Yesterday, we actually heard from a Supreme Court justice. This is Justice Sonia Sotomayor. She's a liberal justice. She weighed in on this balance of power issue, this question of how much executive power actually exists. Can courts check that? Let's take a listen.
Our founders were hell-bent on ensuring that we didn't have a monarchy. And the first way they thought of that was to give Congress the power of the purse. Court decisions stand, whether one particular person chooses to abide by them or not. It doesn't change the foundation that it's still a court order that someone will respect at some point.
Danny, remind us of, we all grew up hearing the term checks and balances, how they come into play at a moment like this, and if we do kind of end up in a constitutional crisis, how that's ultimately litigated.
A lot of very smart people in the last 72 hours have written very thoughtful pieces about how we may be in a constitutional crisis. It may be I'm in the minority. I don't believe we're there yet because I have a sort of bright line. The mere fact that someone, the executive branch, does something unconstitutional is not a constitutional crisis.
Right.
The mere fact that the administration does something unprecedented or even outrageous is not a constitutional crisis. I think we should use that term sparingly because a constitutional crisis, in my view, only arises when there is a situation that the Constitution simply has no answer for. Requiring the courts to deal with a bunch of executive orders, not a constitutional crisis. That's what the courts are for. When a court issues an order and the president defies it, now we may be in constitutional crisis land.
All right. Danny Savalas, appreciate it as always. Thanks for being here. Now let's get to our other big story. This is that winter weather system sweeping across the United States. You might see it right outside your window. Multiple storms are bringing heavy snow and frigid temperatures to a huge swath of the country, creating messy and in some cases dangerous conditions. NBC News correspondent Adrienne brought us. She's in Kansas City. She is out in it for us. Look at the snow gathering on her hat. Adrienne, good morning. We appreciate you being out there. And you are in one of the areas expecting some of the worst weather over the next few days. So again, our thanks to you. What's it like out there right now?
As you see, Savannah, the snow is falling, and I can tell you we've seen this moderate snowfall for the last 2 hours or so. It's been steady and nonstop. Here in downtown Kansas City, you can no longer see the skyline. When I woke up this morning, I could see it, but that is not the case now. The roads are snow covered. You may be able to hear the sound of some folks working behind us. They're working to clear some of those side streets there. But here in Kansas, they're expected to get 3 to 6 inches over the next 2 days. And right now, we're in the heaviest period of this snowfall.
Adrienne, what are some of the biggest concerns as the storm moves through the area? I mentioned it can create dangerous conditions. What should people keep in mind?
Oh, certainly. Not just here in Kansas City, but across the country. At least 90 million people are under these winter weather alerts. And overnight, we saw some severe conditions. The big concern, snow and ice, for example, especially when those bridges ice over. We've seen video where people were sliding off of the road into ditches. We've seen cars flip over. That is one of the major concerns. Also with the ice in some parts of the country, it was so heavy, the ice blanketed the tree branches, causing those branches to fall and even bringing down power lines. Beyond the ice, the other big concern out west is the potential for flooding, especially in those areas that were hard hit by fire. The big concern is with the flooding and the debris possibly sliding away, Savannah.
Adrienne, how are officials preparing for the winter storm?
Not only here in Kansas City, but across the country, we've seen public works departments already preparing and getting ready. For example, on Monday here in Kansas City, they started pre-treating the roads, and their workers are working overtime. It's all hands on deck. They have hundreds of snowplows and more than 400 workers ready to work in those shifts and go out and make sure the main streets are cleared. But as you can see behind me, not a lot of people out on the roads right now. But for those who may be traveling, whether you're here or across the country, if you have to be out, take your time. Back to you.
Adrienne, please go get warm. Thank you so much. Let's get a closer look at how this series of winter storms could impact your area with your Morning News Now weather. Angie Lastman is back with us. She's here in studio. Angie, good morning. Welcome back.
Hi there, Savannah. Good morning. It's great to be back with you. We've got a whole lot to talk about. Multiple storm systems for the east, for the west. So let's start with the east. We've got these back-to-back winter storms that you heard Adrienne just mention. Storm number 1 is exiting, but we're still seeing a little bit of this kind of lingering snow and wintry mix. And of course, we've got the rain draped across parts of the south. And then we've got this next storm system that's going to develop and continue to work its way east over the next couple of days. That is centered over the plains for now. So no surprise that we've got alerts across much of the country. 97 million people under winter alerts, and we've got those flood alerts topping about 15 million at this hour. One thing to note across the south today, 10 million people going to see the potential to have some of these stronger storms develop and maybe even spin up a tornado or two. We could see some strong winds close to 60 miles per hour or higher. The hail risk is low, but again, this includes Montgomery to Baton Rouge, so something to watch for through the afternoon hours and into the evening hours today. And boy, is this going to be a mess even as we get into the later parts of today and into tomorrow. Across parts of the plains and the Great Lakes, that's where you'll see the heaviest snow setup through the day today. It's the ice, the rain across the south and the northeast. And we're going to see that lasting even into the early hours of tomorrow morning. So across the northeast, it'll be a little bit difficult for that early morning commute. You'll notice the snow still sticks around for much of northern New England tomorrow, even into the later parts of the day. But most of the system is going to work offshore. We'll still see some of that snow lingering for parts of the Great Lakes, too. And having at that, I think if people are traveling, especially on the roads or in the air, you're going to see some difficulty likely at some hubs. Places like Chicago could pick up anywhere from 4 to 7 inches. We'll see multiple inches in Detroit as well. Kansas City, similar story there. 3 to 6 inches is what we're expecting. And on top of that, the roads are going to be difficult for a lot of folks. Notice that 1/4 inch of ice accumulation across parts of the Great Lakes from Indianapolis up into the lakes. It'll be difficult on the roads, Savannah, and we could even see some power outages. And, of course, we've got that rain that'll leave us with the flooding concerns for the South, too.
Is that all?
Well, no, actually, we've got stuff going on the West Coast, too. Heavy rain, you heard Adrian talk about.
We'll talk about that a little later, too. Angie, thank you.
You got it.
And turning back to Washington, in an extraordinary speech on the floor of the House of Representatives, Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace of South Carolina publicly accused her ex-fiancé and several others of a long list of serious sex crimes, allegations that they all deny. NBC News senior Capitol Hill correspondent Ryan Nobles has the story.
This was an unconventional speech on the House floor. Nancy Mace making serious accusations about 4 different men, and all 4 of them deny what she claims.
South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace taking to the House floor to publicly accuse 4 men, including her ex-fiancé, of what she described as heinous crimes against women, including herself.
I'm going scorched earth. So let the bridges I burn this evening light our way forward.
Mace, without specific evidence, spent close to an hour detailing allegations, including rape and filming women and young girls without their consent. She accused her ex-fiancé, Patrick Bryant, of being at the center of the scheme, which she says she uncovered on his phone.
I found myself face to face with the darkest corners of humanity.
Bryant, who Mace was engaged to until 2023, vehemently denied her claims. I categorically deny these allegations. I take this matter seriously and will cooperate fully with any necessary legal processes to clear my name. The other men named by Mace in the speech also forcefully denied the allegations and called them untrue. Mace also attacked South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson.
There were deliberate delays in an investigation in what I turned over.
Wilson, who could be a future political rival of Mace's in the South Carolina governor's race, said the Congresswoman has her facts wrong.
She's never voiced any concerns about her case. And had she raised any concerns, I would have been completely shocked because I was unaware that she had a case being investigated.
By giving her speech on the House floor, Mace has wide latitude under the Constitution's speech and debate clause, which protects members' comments from lawsuits. But those comments need to be part of legitimate legislative activity. Mace argued the allegations were part of her rationale for introducing bills related to the protection of women. A source with direct knowledge tells NBC News she consulted with a lawyer to make sure the speech was constitutionally protected.
Of the 4 men that Mace made accusations about on the House floor, only one is under criminal investigation, her ex-fiancé. The South Carolina Law Enforcement Division saying that there is an active probe into allegations of assault, harassment, and voyeurism, but no charges have been filed.
All right, Ryan, thank you very much. Well, Steve Bannon, a longtime ally of President Trump, has pleaded guilty to felony fraud charges here in New York for helping to defraud donors who were giving money to build a wall at the southern border. The 71-year-old was sentenced to 3 years conditional discharge. That means no jail time, and waived his right to appeal. Bannon and several others were charged with defrauding people who gave money for that construction of the southern border wall during President Trump's first term. Prosecutors say he swindled donors who contributed more than $15 million in 2019 as part of a fundraising drive called We Build the Wall. There's much more to come here on Morning News Now later this hour. What the heart wants. An eye-opening survey suggests a gender gap when it comes to heart specialists and patients' preference, and it could be impacting women's health. Up first, though, after the break, ceasefire compromised. President Trump pushing forward with his plan for a U.S. takeover of Gaza as Israel threatens to end its deal with Hamas. The latest when we come back. Welcome back. Last week, President Trump surprised the Middle East by announcing his plan for the U.S. takeover of Gaza. On Tuesday at the White House, he sat face-to-face with the leader of one of the countries who would be most impacted by his plan. In a meeting with Jordan's King Abdullah, the president doubled down on his controversial plan for Gaza. NBC News Chief Foreign Affairs Correspondent Andrea Mitchell has more on this.
Jordan's King Abdullah at the White House after President Trump threatened to cut off aid to Jordan if the king doesn't take in Palestinians from Gaza, which Jordan has opposed. King Abdullah offering instead to take in thousands of sick children from Gaza.
I think one of the things that we can do right away is take 2,000 children that are either cancer children or in a very ill state to Jordan as quickly as possible.
That's really a beautiful gesture. That's really good, and we appreciate it.
The president also doubling down on his plan to own Gaza and rebuild it.
We're not going to buy anything. We're going to have it, and we're going to keep it, and we're going to make sure that there's going to be peace, and there's not going to be any problem. I can tell you about real estate. They're going to be in love with it.
King Abdullah saying Egypt will present a plan in response to the president's, who then suggested he won't withhold aid to either country.
I don't have to threaten with money. We contribute a lot of money to Jordan and to Egypt, by the way, a lot, to both. But I don't have to threaten that. I think we're above that.
Meanwhile, President Trump also doubling down on his threat to Hamas after seeing how emaciated 3 Israeli hostages were when they were released last week.
They look like Holocaust survivors.
The president repeated his demand that Hamas not just release a few hostages this week, but all of them by noon Saturday.
They either have them out by Saturday at 12 o'clock or all bets are off.
Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu has put his troops on alert along the Gaza border, saying if Hamas doesn't live up to their end of the hostage deal on Saturday, Israel will resume intensive combat operations.
All right, Andrea, thank you so much. Well, let's stay with overseas news. An international summit on artificial intelligence was held in Paris yesterday, with issues like regulation, providing the power supply AI takes, and control over the transformative technology on the agenda. Vice President J.D. Vance was there, but as NBC News business and data correspondent Brian Chung reports, the real drama between tech giants Elon Musk and Sam Altman took center stage.
Vice President J.D. Vance on the world stage sharing his vision of an America First agenda on artificial intelligence.
The United States of America is the leader in AI, and our administration plans to keep it that way.
But offstage, a more personal, escalating battle for AI supremacy. Elon Musk making a $97 billion offer to take ChatGPT maker OpenAI from its CEO Sam Altman, who Musk has called Scam Altman and a swindler. Altman punching back, offering to buy Twitter from Musk at the AI summit in Paris, saying,
probably his whole life is from a position of insecurity. I feel for the guy.
The growing public feud, now a major falling out between the two tech billionaires who co-founded OpenAI together in 2015.
I think we've got a really talented group at OpenAI.
You are unusually fearless and willing to go in the face of other people telling you something is crazy.
But now Musk company XAI is a competitor to Altman's OpenAI.
I mean, look, OpenAI is not for sale.
The two are also fighting in court after Musk sued Altman and OpenAI, alleging that they double-crossed him on a promise to keep the company a nonprofit. OpenAI saying they need to become a for-profit company to raise money. Caught in the middle, President Donald Trump, close with Musk, but also heaping praise on Altman at a recent White House event.
I would say by far the leading expert, based on everything I read, Sam Altman.
A former friendship gone foul, with the future of AI hanging in the balance. And one more wrinkle to the Sam Altman-Elon Musk feud are accusations of funny money. You have to rewind to that Stargate announcement at the White House where Sam Altman of OpenAI, in tandem with Oracle and also SoftBank, a Japanese company, committed $500 billion to a program called Stargate, which would be involved in AI infrastructure in this country. You had Elon Musk that was accusing Sam Altman of not actually having that money. Now you have Elon Musk trying to get a consortium of investors to put together $100 billion to buy OpenAI. Some questions over how he would pull that out without some debt, which, as you'll recall, when he bought Twitter for $44 billion, a lot of that was financed with debt that banks are still trying to sell. Back to you.
All right, Brian Chung, thank you so much. Well, more international headlines now. In Central Africa, rebels have launched a fresh wave of attacks on Congolese government forces. Our international correspondent Danielle Hamamdjian is following that and other world headlines for us. Danielle, good morning.
Good morning, Samara. That's right. We begin with the ongoing violence in the Democratic Republic of Congo. M23 rebels have attacked Congolese government forces and are now pushing towards another key city in eastern Congo. thousands of people from that region have been fleeing for decades, and many are being displaced once again as the armed group took over the city of Goma. M23 is backed by neighboring Rwanda and believed to be aiming to control Congo's access to minerals. So far, around 3,000 people have been killed. To the Philippines now, where the vice president has just been charged for inciting sedition. The case against Sara Duterte revolves around comments she made late last year suggesting she threatened to have the president, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., killed should she be assassinated. She and Marcos were once allies who ran together in the 2022 elections, but have since then clashed. And finally, to the Canary Islands, and take a look at this face. You're looking at rare footage of a black sea devil anglerfish. On January 26th, a team of researchers captured these images. Only the second time in history the species has been recorded alive. Not the best looking fish, it's true, but Savannah, one biologist said this is so exceptional, he thought it was AI generated.
Wow. I mean, you're right. It's scary looking. I could have gone without it. Danielle, thank you so much. Coming up, fears over care.
Certainly scared about what could happen to both me, my institution, and every other institution where young people are coming for care.
When we come back, how a series of executive orders by President Trump is renewing concerns over gender-affirming care. This is Morning News Now. Welcome back. After a flurry of executive orders from the Trump administration, there are still many questions around the medical care that transgender youth will be able to receive. This is as hospitals and healthcare providers are navigating what the executive orders mean for them. NBC News correspondent Stephanie Gosk has more.
A campaign promise.
No serious country should be telling its children that they were born with the wrong gender.
Turned into a flurry of executive orders targeting transgender people and the institutions that support them. One of the recent orders bans federal funding of transgender medical care for individuals under 19.
Basically, me getting care is like my house. Imagine somebody's coming in, an architect who got the deed to your house and all this. We're going to take away your house.
Is that how you feel right now?
They're taking away all our houses.
17-year-old Akani Drisdale Ash has been getting transgender care, including hormone blockers, for 3 years.
I didn't feel connected to my body. It started maybe when I was in 4th, 5th grade.
For me as the parent, the most important part was like just getting connected with support for my child. My child is depressed.
Akani's mother took him to a clinic in New York City.
I think it's important to screen those young people to make sure that they understand, in particular when they're legally minors, to make sure that their parents understand.
Dr. Jeffrey Birnbaum treats Akani. He says he and his patients are afraid about where the country is heading.
I am certainly scared about what could happen to both me, my institution, and every other institution where young people are coming for care.
There are currently 26 states that have laws or policies that restrict gender-affirming care for minors. 6 hospitals in states where it is allowed have changed their policy, according to the White House. NBC News reached out to another 10 hospitals in states where it is currently allowed, and 2 confirmed their policies changed as well. The executive order is already facing legal challenges, and it's not clear how enforcement will work.
You have a government right now that is taking concrete actions to prevent you from living the way you want to live. And I wonder, how does that affect you today?
It seems like we're history repeating itself. I will do what the people before me did, what we always will do, stand up for ourselves, lift our voices, and come together.
Stephanie Gosk, NBC News.
It's time now for our weekly medical checkup. This week, we're taking a look at how air pollution can cloud your thinking. And also, if you're a woman and you prefer a female doctor, you're not alone. We're going to tell you what a new national survey says about why finding one for your heart health specifically can be tricky. NBC News medical contributor Dr. Natalie Azar is here to talk us through all of this. Good morning. Great to see you.
You too.
Let's start on this new study, air pollution. It can cloud your thinking, and I am thinking that that is certainly of note right now, given the air quality in Los Angeles after these fires.
Very, very timely report. So these researchers were specifically looking at a couple of different domains of cognitive function before and after exposure to particulate matter, right? We talk about that, again, a lot because of the recent LA fires. And they were specifically looking at working memory, also your ability to focus on a task, your ability to do something called emotional discrimination, which means you can look at somebody and determine how they are feeling. The pollution in this case was a burning candle. So it wasn't like, you know, crazy, you know, traffic pollution. It was something that you have in your own home even. And what they found that high levels of particulate matter could impair brain function and probably caused by inflammation in some capacity. That's their explanation for how this could happen. And by the way, air pollution is one of the leading environmental risks to our health. So my doctor's orders are, you can check your daily air pollution levels. We talked about this again a lot in the setting of the fires. Everyone can go online, airnow.gov. And if you're inside, airnow.gov, and when you're inside, think about this. Maybe burn less candles, have a filter, a HEPA filter, open windows if you are doing something inside that's going to require a lot of attention because it can impact you.
What about a wood-burning fireplace? Is that
wood-burning fireplace is okay. It's actually gas stoves that you want to open windows for. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think in any capacity, if you're doing anything burning, et cetera, you can also vacuum a lot. That helps with particulate matter in the house.
Very interesting. Okay. All right. Let's talk about this next study. It found young people with 3 or more ADHD symptoms, I want to hear what some of those are, that they had a higher risk of using nicotine products.
So we have known for many years that having a diagnosis of ADHD can increase the risk of using nicotine and tobacco. The reason they think that that probably happens is that nicotine can increase dopamine levels, which makes you feel good. So it's kind of like the opposite of a gateway. It's almost like the condition ADHD is a gateway to using nicotine and tobacco. The symptoms, hyperactivity, inattention, those are the kinds of symptoms of ADHD patients. So sort of the take home here, there's early diagnosis is really, really important because for ADHD because if you treat early, you might prevent that subsequent nicotine use. And they did find that kids who had ADHD but had lower symptoms were less likely to use. Medication and therapy can obviously help with symptoms. My doctor's orders are, if you or someone, a child, you think could have ADHD, please get them diagnosed and screened early. Medication therapies are very effective, but they're not everything. Behavioral interventions can also help a lot. And I think this is really important, especially for parents, right? Like you don't want your kids to ultimately use e-cigarettes, et cetera. So the earlier intervention, the better.
Certainly. Yeah. All right, last one for you.
Last
one. This is also an important one. Okay, so women, like women doctors, it turns out, according to this study, which I totally agree with. I you know, it just, when you're being poked and prodded and all that kind of stuff, there's something about it for me personally that feels better. But when it comes to cardiologists, when it comes to heart health, there's such a disparity in the number of female to male doctors. What is it, just 17%? I mean, obviously that means that every woman cannot be seen by a female cardiologist.
That is true.
What do you think about this?
It was a shocking number to me. You know, I'm lucky I work in an academic medical center where I have a lot of female cardiologists at my disposal for my patients to refer to. And just a point, a lot of male patients prefer female doctors. It's, you know, there's a lot of research to back up that outpatient outcomes are better when you have a female doctor. All about communication and listening and being heard and sort of that kind of thing. No shade to my male colleagues. I'm obviously phenomenal male colleagues. But yeah, so this is concerning, particularly for heart disease. Heart attack symptoms can be different in women. Things like jaw pain, shoulder pain, shortness of breath, not necessarily elephants sitting on your chest. And so just a word out there, females, if you have a male doctor, please communicate your symptoms and be heard because it's very important, especially for heart disease.
Such good information. Dr. Natalie Azar, thank you so much. Great to have you with us. Coming up, a tall order. You've heard about eggs. Well, now coffee. The cost of it's on the rise. When we come back, more on the price spike that's left a lot of people steaming. This is Morning News Now. Welcome back. The cost of breakfast is on the rise yet again, and eggs are not the only staple to blame. Now, it's not looking good for coffee lovers. According to analysts at Bank of America, coffee prices are on the rise, and actually, they're going to get even higher this year. This is due to growing supply shortage of beans. For more on this, let's bring in Brooke DePalma. She is a senior reporter at Yahoo Finance. Brooke, good morning. This is really tough news. For a morning show anchor, I got to tell you, certain coffees here, we have Arabica coffee. Its prices were at an all-time high on Friday, $4.04 a pound. Look at what it was before, just last quarter, $3.20 a pound. Tell us what's behind a rise in price here.
Savannah, definitely hard news to swallow here. It's a mix of these extreme weather patterns that have led to a weaker crop, specifically leading to an uncertain outlook for crop in Brazil. Now, keep in mind, Brazil is the world's largest coffee producer. And like you noted, coffee futures hit an all-time high recently, even reaching as high as $4.30 during Tuesday's market session. And that's compared to just $3.20 at the end of 2024. But get this, just a few years ago, we were only at $1 per pound. And so really hard news for Americans to swallow here.
Brooke, also, this is totally, I was on this kick for a while. I will admit I have fallen off the wagon because it's just a lot easier to do my mobile order and pick it up on my way in at 5 in the morning. But I used to try to make coffee at home because it's supposed to be a cheaper alternative. And this is always one of those things where you're like, you know how you can save, $100 a month is to not buy that coffee out. But actually, analysts are finding that those are expensive too. Coffee pods, drip coffee, all that also on the rise. Is this a trend we're going to keep seeing?
Yeah, Americans have been deciding to make the decision. Do I go out to get coffee or do I make coffee at home? And what we're seeing now over the past few years, this price per cup has increased. And drip coffee, for example, has moved from just 12 cents back in 2021. Now it's up to 18 cents currently. And those prices could continue to continue to increase because companies like those at-home brands, think J.M. Smucker, which owns Cafe Bustelo, Folgers, At Home Dunkin', as well as Keurig Dr. Pepper, which makes those K-Cups, well, they're going to have to raise prices to really offset this increase that we're seeing in coffee. And right now, K-Cups are at about 55 cents per pod. And Keurig Dr. Pepper already knows that that's above the sweet spot of 50 cents per pod that consumers really like.
Wow. All right, Brooke, also, we've been talking a lot about the prices of eggs climbing, about the shortages at stores. They're even being stolen. There's egg heists. I mean, it's just completely crazy. But obviously, between eggs and coffee, you've got two breakfast staples there. What should people try to do to save any money here when it comes to this meal?
Yeah, we're seeing companies, or rather grocery retailers like Trader Joe's, like Costco, really limiting. And so even if you wanted to splurge and say get 2 dozen eggs, really these companies like a Trader Joe's is only limiting to 1 dozen. But some things that we've been able to see is that really grocers, as well as brands like, say, a J.M. Smucker and Keurig Dr. Pepper, really lean into this promotional environment because they know that consumers are already fatigued. They're sick of higher prices. And so look out for those deals, look out for those sales. And also in this environment, we've seen wholesale retailers do really well. Think Walmart, Sam's Club, think Costco, think BJ's. And so if you're able to go to this wholesale retailer, we're seeing consumers do that in order to get more bang for their buck and likely more eggs and more coffee too.
All right, Brooke, thank you for some of the tips because really unsettling news. Appreciate it. Good to see you. Let's stay on your money. Charles Schwab is making some new changes to overnight trading for its retail clients. CNBC's Savannah now will explain and give us more finance headlines. Good morning, Savannah.
Hey, Savannah. Good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. Yeah, so Charles Schwab is expanding 24-hour trading to all retail customers. So they'll be able to trade a wider range of securities 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. And those include stocks listed in the S&P 500 and NASDAQ, as well as hundreds of ETFs. Amazon is testing a new shopping feature that will direct shoppers to other brands' websites if Amazon doesn't carry that product. So the feature will be activated for just a select group of customers. Amazon will show products in search results even if it doesn't sell them, and will link to the retailer's website so you can click through and check the item, pricing, and delivery options and purchase directly. The links will be shown alongside other relevant items found in Amazon's own store. And listen to this, Applebee's has a last-minute Valentine's Day gift. The restaurant chain's popular date night passes are available again for purchase this year. Club Applebee's Rewards members will have the opportunity to buy one for $100 through a random drawing. You have until midnight tonight Eastern time to register, and you'll be notified on Valentine's Day if you won. So listen to this. The pass will get you $50 off food and non-alcoholic beverages once a month, for the next year, Savannah. The gift that keeps on giving.
Wow, it's kind of fun. Love it.
Yeah.
Date night passes. Cool.
Yeah.
Savannah, thank you.
Got it.
Coming up, some very cool art, literally. Up next, we'll take you to Minneapolis, where a new outdoor exhibit is making waves on a frozen lake. You're watching Morning News Now. Welcome back. If you want to know what everyone will be wearing this fall, chances are it was on display at New York Fashion Week. This year's runway was marked by returns from favorite brands, major debuts from newer names, and even a few shakeups for some American designers. Here to break it down for us is New York Times fashion director and chief fashion critic, Vanessa Friedman. Vanessa, so great to have you with us. Thank you so much for joining us. Excited to talk to you. One of the things that I know you wrote about that I found so interesting was what's going on at Calvin Klein. So this is this debut of a new designer for them, Veronica Leone, but this brand actually hasn't been on a runway in a very long time, even though we're so used to hearing, Calvin Klein and knowing the brand. But what did you think about what you saw on the runway, about how the designer did and what this kind of return for the brand meant?
I mean, it's been almost 7 years, right, which is a really big deal. And Calvin Klein is the kind of global name that can bring the eyes of the world to New York. So it was important not just for the company, but really for all of New York Fashion Week. And Veronica Leone, who is the new designer, the first woman designer for Calvin Klein, offered a really sort of loyal return to the 90s heyday of the house, whether that was sort of minimalist sportswear and like very tailored look. She leaned into that side of Calvin Klein more than the kind of Jeremy Allen White sexy jeans side of it. But it was a really nice moment, I think, for the city. Calvin Klein himself was there, his wife Kelly was there, and his muses of the past, like Kate Moss and Christy Turlington, was there.
So neat. What other debut designers do you think are ones to watch?
I mean, certainly new names like Raul Lopez of Luar, Rachel Scott of Diotima, who actually was the CFDA Fashion Designer of the Year last year, and is incredibly talented and very good at kind of mixing this tailored look with more kind of crafty crochet that have to do with her heritage.
What I'm so excited to hear your answer on this. The biggest trends that you noticed at this year's Fashion Week. Which styles do we expect to see, off the runway that maybe some of us regular people, non-models, can pull off?
There were a lot of over-the-knee boots. There was a lot of leopard. There were a lot of leather. Definitely a lot of leather coats. But I think the rise of sportswear, the return of sportswear, at a time when life can feel very chaotic, it's a way of kind of feeling in control, was to me the most notable trend.
And you wrote this piece, it was great, over the weekend. Its title was When Clothing is a Bullhorn. And this idea here that, here's a quote, weaving issues of sustainability, gender, and inclusion into their collections. By doing that, labels are embedding a form of quiet resistance in clothes. Where'd you notice that happening? And what exactly did it look like on runways?
It was pretty ubiquitous. One of the most interesting things for me, speaking to designers backstage or in previews, was the fact that, for most of them, they started designing these collections before the election. And then November happened, and the world suddenly looks very different. And so for them, the question is, how do you change your work to kind of mirror that, to give women and men the tools to exist in this new reality? And there was a lot of talk around the inauguration about the fact that fashion was kind of playing ball with the new administration in a way that perhaps it had not during the first go around in 2016. And I think what we saw on the runway in brands including Ekhaslata, Kalina Strada, but really across the board, was a response to that, was a suggestion that no, designers were not going to necessarily abandon some of the principles that they had that had really taken center stage over the last couple of years, be it inclusion, be it sustainability, be it, the option to determine your own gender identity. And they were putting it in their clothes.
Vanessa Friedman, great to have you with us. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed Fashion Week.
Thank you.
We're going to end this hour with a winter wonderland in Minneapolis, where a group of artists have transformed a frozen lake into an art gallery. NBC News correspondent Maggie Vespa takes us there.
Every winter, when the land of 10,000 lakes freezes over, make art happen! Stubborn Minneapolis artists turn one into the ultimate stage. Welcome to the Art Shanty Project's 20 interactive exhibits. The trippier, the better. On ice, for those who dare.
Yeah, it's very wild. I keep asking her, are we okay?
We do get a lot of frozen lake first-timers.
Frozen lake first-timers.
Yes.
The festival began 21 years ago when a pair of artists learned frozen lakes lack building codes. Organizers measure the ice daily, topping the minimum 10 inches, not always a guarantee.
Last year, warm weather started melting the ice and the festival closed early. This year, they came back in full force.
On display, a play on the plight of pigeons. Dumpster fire disco.
Nod to wild stuff that's happening in the world right now.
Even Froga, frozen yoga.
It's like the opposite of hot yoga.
All drawing people together.
They never walked on ice before.
You've never walked on ice before.
In a season that normally drives us indoors.
Hello. That was so Minnesota.
Yeah.
On a stage where, while it lasts, anything goes.
Oh my God.
Maggie Vespa, NBC News, Minneapolis.
That's going to do it for this hour of Morning News Now, but stay with us. The news continues right now. Good morning, and thanks for getting your Wednesday started with us. I'm Savannah Sellers. Joe is off today. Right now on Morning News Now, in the hot seat, President Trump and his right-hand man, billionaire Elon Musk, facing fiery lines of questioning over the Department of Government Efficiency. Mr. Musk claiming without evidence that the government is rife with corruption and that his team has identified billions of dollars in waste. It all comes as the White House faces harsh new blowback on Capitol Hill for efforts to cut federal staffers. We'll take you to Washington. Mother Nature's wintry wrath is not letting up this morning. Dangerous ice and snow, coupled with some positively frigid temps, wreaking havoc along the East Coast. And all that wild weather isn't coming down yet. Our Angie Lastman is tracking it all in just a moment. Also this morning, we're getting the latest read on inflation in America as rising prices at the grocery store and the gas pump continue to hammer wallets nationwide. But where might President Trump's sweeping tariff plan play into your finances in the coming months? We are going to watch your bottom line. Plus, if you can believe it, we are now less than 1 year out from the Milan Cortina Winter Games. So later in the hour, we're introducing you to some of Team USA's top athletes looking to make their Olympic dreams come true. We are so excited about that. I can't believe it's almost time again. We're going to begin this hour with the Trump administration and its aggressive effort to downsize the federal government. President Trump and Elon Musk both faced questions from reporters yesterday about their efforts to slash government spending and the federal workforce. Musk answered questions for the first time about his Department of Government Efficiency and its role in government downsizing. This all comes as the Inspector General of the U.S. Agency for International Development, that's USAID we've been talking about. He's been fired one day after his office released a report detailing the negative impact of the Trump administration's downsizing of the agency. NBC News Chief White House Correspondent Peter Alexander joins us from Washington with the very latest. Hey, Peter, good morning.
Savannah, good morning. This really was a remarkable scene there inside the Oval Office. President Trump behind the resolute desk, billionaire Elon Musk right by his side, detailing their plans for large-scale cuts to the federal workforce and handing over more power for future hiring to Musk.
Overnight, the Trump administration firing the Inspector General, the independent watchdog who oversees USAID. It comes just a day after the IG's office released a report detailing the potential risks of the administration's dramatic downsizing of the agency, according to a letter obtained by NBC News. All of it as the president, in an extraordinary scene in the Oval Office, largely ceded the spotlight to his top lieutenant, Elon Musk, talking about his work reshaping the government.
And a lot of times, people that don't get what they voted for, but in this presidency, they are going to get what they voted for. And that's what democracy is all about.
President Trump and Musk, his 4-year-old son in tow, saying they've identified billions of dollars in fraud and waste without providing specific evidence.
So if there's not a good feedback loop from the people to the government, And if you have rule of the bureaucrat, or if the bureaucracy is in charge, and then what meaning does democracy actually have?
President Trump also signing a new executive order with more plans to scale back the federal workforce and giving Musk's team power over more hiring decisions. Musk's DOGE team's operations have been shrouded in secrecy, entering agencies without warning and accessing sensitive data systems. Musk's companies have major contracts with some of the agencies he's remaking. But the White House says his financial disclosure forms will not be made public.
We actually are trying to be as transparent as possible.
The president also taking another swipe at judges who have held up some of his changes.
Maybe we have to look at the judges because that's very serious.
While later promising to accept court rulings. Overnight, Supreme Court Justice Sotomayor taking a not-so-subtle swipe at President Trump's actions.
Court decisions stand, whether one particular person chooses to abide by them or not. It doesn't change the foundation that it's still a court order that someone will respect at some point.
In amid major downsizing at USAID that, of course, delivers billions of dollars in federal aid, Musk backpedaled after his and President Trump's recent false claims that the U.S. sent $50 million to buy condoms in Gaza. Musk said, some of the things I say will be incorrect and should be corrected. He added, nobody is going to bat 1,000. We will act quickly to correct any mistakes. Savannah, back to you.
All right, Peter, thank you so much. Well, some of President Trump's more controversial cabinet picks are inching closer to confirmation. After a delay due to the snowstorm in Washington, D.C. last night, Trump's pick for Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, is set for a final Senate confirmation vote today at 11 a.m. Eastern. For more on that, NBC News White House correspondent Von Hilliard joins us from Capitol Hill. Von, good to see you. So we all remember Vice President J.D. Vance had to step in to break the tie to help Trump's Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth get confirmed. That was one of the more controversial ones. Now we've got Tulsi Gabbard. We've got RFK Jr. Tell us how things are looking for some of the president's other nominees this week.
Right. And there was a lot of skepticism around these two particular picks, Tulsi Gabbard to be the Director of National Intelligence and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to take over Health and Human Services. And at 11 a.m. Eastern time is when Tulsi Gabbard's pick is going to be taken up here by the Senate. And we expect her to be confirmed and get put into the position overseeing the U.S. intelligence agencies, and that will be under her purview. Lisa Murkowski, as well as Susan Collins. Those were two of the Republican senators who voted against Pete Hegseth and have been oftentimes critics of Donald Trump's. They both announced that they would back Gabbard. And when it comes to Kennedy, we expect his vote to take place likely on Thursday at this point. And based off of the words of Susan Collins, again, one of those Republican senators who is always sort of on the edge of will she or won't she vote against somebody, as well as Bill Cassidy, who is currently a physician, another Republican senator out of Louisiana who had asked some tough questions of Kennedy during his confirmation hearings. Both of those individuals have suggested that they will vote yes. So at this point in time, it appears that both of them are going to be approved by the Senate.
And Von, Trump's nominee for FBI director, that's Kash Patel, he's coming under fire from the top Democrat in the Senate Judiciary Committee. This is because he allegedly orchestrated the firing of FBI officials, something we covered here. But that was when he, of course, was still a private citizen. He has still not been, when he had not been confirmed. Von, tell us more about what he's being accused of and how Patel's responding.
Right. This comes at a moment in which it looked like Kash Patel was going to likely be approved by the Senate as well. His confirmation vote, as you suggested, is going to be next week. But Dick Durbin, the longtime Democratic senator from Illinois, wrote a letter in which he accused Patel of perjuring himself during his confirmation hearing when he was asked whether he had instructed FBI officials, while still being a private citizen, to fire current FBI agents and other senior officials. And during that confirmation hearing, he said no, but Durbin claims that whistleblowers from within the FBI have told him that Patel had actually had conversations with Deputy Chief of Staff at the White House, Stephen Miller, who communicated to Emil Bove, one of the assistant AGs inside of the Department of Justice, to seek the removal of 8 senior FBI officials, while also ordering the investigation into any FBI officials that were involved in January 6th. Now, a spokesperson for Patel said in a statement there, quote, "We once again, the media is relying on anonymous sources and secondhand gossip to push a false narrative. Kash Patel is a highly qualified national security expert who has been fully transparent with the American people throughout this process and has demonstrated this. Now, the question is, will this get in the way potentially of his confirmation vote next week?
Yvonne, Republican lawmakers are trying to pass legislation to deliver some of President Trump's agenda without help from Democrats. How could they do that, and what are they trying to do it for? What are some of these big-ticket items that they want to push through?
Right. There's a process called reconciliation, which would allow the Republicans here in 2025 to pass a big package of Trump agenda type legislation, tax cuts, border investment. This is a moment here with majorities in the Senate and the House that Republicans would be able to pass some major legislation. But as you noted, their majorities are very thin. In the House, for example, they'd only be able to lose one Republican member's support if every Democrat were to vote against the legislation. And made even more difficult by this is Senator Lindsey Graham and others suggesting that they need to increase their spending on border response. And of course, that says some Republicans say, well, the cuts have to come somewhere if we're also going to put forward tax cuts. Take a listen to Lindsey Graham.
To my friends in the House, we're moving because we have to. I wish you the best. I want one big, beautiful bill, but I cannot and I will not go back to South Carolina and justify not supporting the president's immigration plan. We're not building a wall, folks. We're hitting a wall. They need the money, and they need it now.
Now, this is where there's a difference in view between the House Republicans and the Senate Republicans. Both sides intend to come forward with their own packages here because they have a disagreement over exactly what these packages should look like and the best way to get it passed. All of that said, Savannah, the big deadline that we are going to be talking about is March 14th. That's when government spending runs out. And this is separate from that conversation, but they're going to need Democrats in order to get 60 votes in the Senate. They're going to need to get some Democrats to figure out spending for the government. And that deadline is March 14th. If they're not able to get some Democrats on board, we're facing a government shutdown. So there's a lot at play right now for Republicans on Capitol Hill. And well, Democrats, they're going to end up playing a role as well.
Okay. Vaughn Hilliard, thank you so much. Great to have you. Well, NASA has announced a new target date to bring 2 astronauts home from the International Space Station. You remember this. This is 8 months after they began what was supposed to be a 10-day mission. NBC's Tom Costello has more on their hopeful return mission.
Match your feet, Sonny. Okay.
For months, NASA has insisted Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams are not stuck in space. They have a space capsule lifeboat in case they'd ever have to abandon the space station.
Ignition and liftoff of Starliner and Atlas V.
But Butch and Sonny launched on a 10-day mission back on June 5th. Their return trip delayed because NASA didn't trust Boeing's troubled Starliner to bring them home. Instead, they were reassigned to SpaceX Crew 9, staying on station until February. Then candidate Trump called on Elon Musk to bring them home sooner.
You know, he's going to send a rocket up very soon to pick up the 2 guys. How would you like to be stuck in space?
They can return when SpaceX Crew 10 arrives to take over at the station. But then Crew 10's February launch was also delayed. President Trump posting on Truth Social, "I have just asked Elon Musk and SpaceX to go get the 2 brave astronauts." Now NASA and SpaceX say Crew 10 will launch on March 12th. Butch and Sonny should then come back a week or so later on Crew 9.
This is my happy place. I love being up here in space.
In January, Sonny Williams joked that she's ready.
I'm trying to remember what it is like to walk because I haven't walked, I haven't sat down, I haven't laid down. You don't have to. You can just close your eyes and float where you are.
Former astronaut Mike Massimino has been in touch with Sonny. When they get back on Earth, are they going to feel the effects, which some astronauts said they've actually kind of felt sick when they get back to Earth?
They're going to be adjusting their vestibular system. Their balance system will be off maybe a little bit at first, but they'll get that adjusted. They should be plenty strong and healthy because they've been exercising every day. But it's always a bit of an adjustment.
Eventually, we want to go home because we left our families a little while ago, but we have a lot to do while we're up here. We've got to get all that stuff done before we go home.
Wow, our thanks to Tom Costello for that report. Well, both astronauts have been on long-duration space missions before, just not quite this long. But they insist, as you heard there, they are healthy and they are used to the unexpected. Well, tens of millions of people across the eastern half of the country are waking up to a slippery mix of snow, ice, and rain. It's causing a major headache for commuters and delaying schools throughout the mid-Atlantic and northeastern part of the country. Now, forecasters say there is already another storm system developing. We're going to get more on the forecast from Angie in just a minute. But first, NBC News correspondent Adrienne Broaddus is in Kansas City. She joins us with the latest. Hey, Adrienne, good morning.
Hey there, Savannah. Good morning to you and our friends watching. Brace yourselves. This is likely the first of multiple days of nasty weather. We are right in the thick of it here in downtown Kansas City. If you look behind me, it's easy to notice the roads are blanketed with snow. The flakes have been falling for hours, reducing visibility minute by minute. Overnight, a severe winter storm unleashing its wrath. Several inches of fast-falling snow dumping all over the East Coast, with heavy snow and ice creating terrifying driving conditions. Cars steering out of control over bridges and sliding off the road into ditches. Traffic brought to a standstill on some major highways after crashes closed down interstates for hours. The wintry mess closing schools from Kentucky to Philadelphia, and thousands of flights and travel plans already delayed or canceled. City to city, snowplows working around the clock.
Everybody out there, be safe. Know there's more weather coming. It's flooding. It's underneath our porch.
Beyond the snow and ice, heavy rain causing flooding in some areas. Severe storms even spawning a likely tornado in Florida, causing multiple injuries and destroying property. While this long stretch of winter weather is exhausting for some, others finding the joy, like these college students at Virginia Tech, coming together for a massive snowball fight. That looks fun. Perhaps we could do that after our shift ends here in Kansas City. This snow is dry. It feels like powder. But I tell you, a few tough days ahead as at least 2 other storms are in the forecast. Savannah?
Oh, all right, Adrienne, thank you so much. We appreciate you being out there for us. Well, let's get more updates on this wintry mix with a look at your morning news now weather with meteorologist Angie Lastman here in studio. Hey, Angie, good morning.
Hi there, Savannah. Good morning to you. We, of course, as Adrienne said, have busy things happening when it comes to the weather. We've got a couple of storms across the east that we've got to talk about. This first storm, this is going to continue to exit. Notice all the rain, though, draped across the southeast. We've still got this wintry mix happening across the mid-Atlantic. And then we've got this next storm system that's really going to ramp up through the day today and work its way east, bringing, of course, all those impacts farther to folks across the east here as we get through the day tomorrow as well. Big picture look of your alerts. We've got a whole lot going on. We've got winter alerts topping 97 million people. We've got these flood alerts, of course, with flooding concerns across the southeast. Those are going to stay in effect through the day today. And on top of that, we've got the chance to see some of these stronger storms develop. So tornadoes, strong winds, all on the table, and specifically across portions of the southeast. And we've seen this be upgraded here just in the past couple of hours. We've seen this enhanced risk go into effect from Montgomery to Hattiesburg. So again, a strong tornado or two is possible. We'll be watching for that through the afternoon hours and into this evening as well. Now, big picture look of the storm system. We've got a lot of things going on. We've, of course, got the rain that I mentioned in the severe forecast for the south, but we've also got all this heavy snow that's going to be stretched from the plains to the Great Lakes. And then we've got this mix of like some rain and some wintry mixed conditions and that snow across parts of the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. And that's kind of what you're going to see as we get into the evening hours and beyond for folks across this region. But it's the heavy snow for the plains and the Great Lakes through the day today. That's going to cause some issues when it comes to travel across that region. The good news is this system kind of kicks out of here by the time we get into the later parts of tomorrow. We'll still see some lingering snow showers. Those will be light, mainly focused across parts of the Great Lakes in northern New England. As far as the heavy snow is concerned, the highest amounts 6 to 8 inches. And we see some of that in eastern parts of Michigan. You can see eastern parts of Wisconsin. Chicago expecting anywhere from 4 to 7 inches. Kansas City about 3 to 6 inches. You can see Detroit upwards of 4, maybe to 6 inches. And on top of that, as we look farther to the east, we've got these ice accumulations that we're going to look for. And some of these could be significant. Notice the 1/4 of an inch ice accumulation we're expecting across parts of Ohio and Indianapolis. Minneapolis. This means, of course, driving is going to be difficult. We'll see those dangerous conditions lasting for this region. And on top of that, maybe some down power lines and some power outages because of it. Big picture look of the flood threat. We'll see multiple rounds of heavy rain. So heads up, those roads likely going to be flooded, especially when we're expecting upwards of 5 to even 6 inches in some of these spots. And speaking of flooding, we've got the alerts up for folks on the West Coast. 29 million people under these flood alerts as we gear up for a couple of days of some heavy rain. Now, here's a look at today. You can see some of that rain starts to work in. We'll have rounds of it focused across parts of Southern California. And then, wow, we get a whole lot of rain and some potential snow across much of the state as we get into tomorrow. The rain closer to the coast of the valley is going to be heavy. We'll see, of course, the really significant snow farther up in the mountains. But we're concerned about the flash flood threat when it comes to those burn scar areas that we've been monitoring for the weeks since the fire, Savannah. This is going to be something that we'll see continue into the end of the work week. So we'll be watching for anywhere from 6 to 10 inches in some of the higher amounts, but closer to the coast, 1 to 3 inches.
Okay, rain, good news.
Yes, they need it, but of course, all at once is always difficult.
Yeah. Oof. All right, Angie, thank you.
You got it.
Well, there's much more to come here on this hour of Morning News Now, including one popular vacation spot breaking up with spring break. The security crackdowns hitting South Florida as rowdy partiers flock to paradise. But first, after the break, an American jailed in Russia for years back on U.S. soil this morning. The emotional moments as Marc Fogel returned home overnight. That's next. Welcome back. An American teacher who's been in prison in Russia for 3.5 years is back home in the United States this morning. 63-year-old Marc Fogel arrived at Joint Base Andrews last night. He then went to the White House to meet with President Trump. Fogel was serving a 14-year sentence in Russia for drug smuggling after he was found with medical marijuana. NBC News Chief International Correspondent Keir Simmons joins us now with the latest. Keir, good morning.
Savannah, good morning. Marc Fogel was convicted by Russia of carrying medical marijuana. He was not included in multiple prisoner exchanges. This morning, he's finally home.
This morning, Marc Fogel free.
I feel like the luckiest man on earth right now.
After 3.5 years wrongfully detained, the U.S. said, in a Russian prison. The American teacher calling President Trump a hero and thanking supporters.
My family has been a force. I think my 95-year-old mother is probably the most dynamic 95-year-old on earth right now.
His mother talking to NBC News overnight.
It just didn't quite sink in right away.
Fogel flown out on a private jet from Moscow belonging to President Trump's Middle East envoy, punching the air as he stepped off the plane. This morning, the Kremlin says it's in exchange for a Russian prisoner. Earlier, the president not sharing details.
Very fair, very fair, very reasonable, not like deals you've seen over the years. And where somebody else is being released tomorrow.
There are Americans still held in Russia and other countries. And the timing is stunning, with negotiations to end the war in Ukraine on the horizon and President Putin insisting he'll talk but not compromise. And it comes with the Gaza ceasefire in crisis, Hamas refusing to release more hostages, saying Israel is not meeting the terms of the deal. Israel saying unless hostages are released, it will resume fighting in Gaza. Earlier, President Trump with the King of Jordan, again vowing to take over Gaza, an idea the King does not support.
We're going to take it, we're going to hold it, we're going to cherish it.
The King diffusing the tension, pledging to help 2,000 Gazan children with cancer.
It's music to my ears.
And President Trump, Savannah, now faces multiple burning foreign policy challenges from the Middle East to China. Both the White House and the Kremlin say their deal will help build good faith. But negotiating a peace that Ukraine and Russia will accept remains one of many tough hurdles globally, Savannah.
All right, Keir, thank you very much. Well, also in Russia, more than 100 fishermen have been rescued after getting stranded on a floating sheet of ice. International correspondent Danielle Hamamdjian has the latest on that rescue and other world headlines. Good morning, Danielle.
Good morning, Savannah. That's right. Russia's emergency services say it is mission complete in the Western Pacific. Officials say a rescue operation involving helicopters and vessels has brought 139 fishermen back to shore. The Russian ministry is saying a 33-feet ice crack had formed, leaving the men stranded on a sheet of floating ice, sending them adrift in the Sea of Okhotsk. Over to Sierra Leone now, where there are growing concerns for the well-being of a 22-year-old woman. Hawa Hunt, an influencer, was arrested on live television after posting comments about the president and the first lady. She faces 2 counts of transmitting insulting images via a computer, prosecutors claiming the video incited public disorder and damaged the reputation of the president and his wife. Hunt has been in prison for more than a month now. And finally, to southern Italy and 10,000 feet above sea level, where lava continues to flow from one of the country's most active volcanoes. You're looking at images of Mount Etna spewing lava as it hits the surrounding ice. Italian media reporting that there is no cause for alarm and that authorities are closely monitoring the situation. Savannah.
All right, Danielle, thank you very much. Well, with all the frigid weather we have endured so far this winter, it's no surprise there are many people looking forward to heading south for spring break. But this morning, officials in Florida are doubling down on their message that rowdy behavior will not be tolerated. And that's raising concerns for some local business owners who say the effort will hurt their bottom line. NBC News correspondent Marissa Parr is in Miami Beach with more. Marissa, good morning.
Hey, Savannah, good morning. If you could believe it, we're just a few weeks away from spring break, which means in Miami Beach, we are just a few weeks away from seeing measures like sidewalk bans on outdoor cafe seating along the iconic Ocean Drive, DUI checkpoints, even closed beach access in certain points, and $100 parking. So a lot of business owners I've spoken to are asking the city to come up with a plan that not only keeps everyone safe, but doesn't drive away customers, too.
Miami Beach says the breakup with spring break is final.
Some people ask, are you getting back together? No, we're done. We are done.
The mayor referencing last year's viral video, sending the message that scenes like these are over for good. After fatal shootings and stampedes during spring break 2 years ago, some locals welcoming the new rules to rein in the chaos.
It was out of control.
And when you say out of control, what were you seeing?
Well, I'll put it to you like this. I didn't want to leave my home.
But between bag checks, street closures, and limited parking starting the first weekend of March, some tourists feel it's excessive.
And $100 parking is crazy. People are just trying to come here and have fun, like any other city.
And, like, why don't they want us to come here? Like, what's the issue?
Officials claim shutting down spring break has actually helped business. But Sherbrooke hotel owner Mitch Novick says the reality is more complicated.
I had guests who learned about the parking, and unfortunately, they canceled their reservations.
Another financial pinch felt last year just around the corner, the Miami Beach staple Mango's Tropical Cafe.
It may not even be worth it to open.
CEO Joshua Wallach praised the mayor for taking action, but says a curfew like last year could kill the vibe that keeps businesses like his booming.
We know we want the city to be prosperous, but we can't have a curfew in March.
Now, we are hearing from the city that the measures last year led to a 32% decrease in felony arrests. So between the viral video last week, the press conference this week with the mayor and the police, the city is making one message abundantly clear, Savannah. This is not just a breakup with spring break. This is a full-on divorce, Savannah.
All right. Well, Marissa, you know what? I'm jealous because we got 3 inches of snow here. It looks pretty nice where you are.
It is beautiful. It is sunny. It is warm. I hate to rub it in because I know that is something that a lot of people up north have forgotten what it looks like. It is just as beautiful as it looks. So despite the divorce that the city of Miami Beach has with spring breakers, I am fully married to the beautiful weather here.
Yeah,
so,
it looks like a great place
to head
for spring break.
Yeah.
Marissa, thank you so much. Coming up, we are just a year out from Italy's shot at the Winter Games. And after the break, we'll tell you how Milan is preparing to shine on the world stage and all the excitement that's going along with it. That's next. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Milan Cortina Winter Olympics are set to take place just 1 year from now. And while the world's best athletes prepare for the next set of games around northern Italy, NBC's Craig Melvin gives us a look at all the excitement that's already building in the heart of Milan.
The countdown is on to the first Olympic Games to be officially co-hosted by 2 cities, Italy's fashion capital, Milan, and the Alpine city of Cortina, host of the 1956 Olympics.
And I think they're all waiting with anticipation for the Games.
The host cities more than 250 miles apart, making them the most widespread games in history. 25 event venues across northern Italy. In an attempt to save money, 90% of those venues are temporary or existing facilities repurposed for the games.
How confident are you that a year from now, you'll be ready?
We will be ready. There's no
question.
There's no question.
Fans will also be flocking to see the famed sites like Milan's heart and soul, the Duomo.
I see why it took 600 years to build it.
It's one of the largest cathedrals in the world, but the real showstopper is up on the roof, the Madonnina, or Virgin Mary.
Folks climbed 251 steps to get here, the highest point of the Duomo, to see her, 12 feet tall, covered in gold leaves. She is the symbol of this beloved city, Milan.
It's a stunning story of faith and art.
This is the stone and marble forest featuring flying buttresses and statues and spires. This is no doubt where next winter folks are going to come and snap their selfies during the games.
This Winter Olympics includes 8 new competitions and the debut of ski mountaineering, which involves climbing and hiking uphill. Nearly 3,000 Olympians will descend upon Italy. One young figure skater trying to take a spin at gold, Isabel Levito. That twirl, a good luck tradition here at the iconic Galleria.
They're looking at me like, who's that weird American?
A tradition her mother, Chiara, a Milano native, remembers well.
Chiara, you lived here?
I lived here, yes.
How long ago?
28 years ago.
Now, she hopes to return again with an Olympian.
It honestly, when we found out when the Olympics were going to be in Milan, it kind of felt like destiny. Just that, like, this is like where my heritage, this is where I come from.
Chiara led us to one of her favorite food stops, Luini's, a Milanese institution.
When you come, what do you usually get?
Pomodoro mozzarella. This is the tomato and mozzarella. Yeah.
Panzerotti, known as golden pockets of joy.
I'll do that one. Spicy salami. Yes. Cheers to being back in Milan next year.
Okay, our thanks to Craig Melvin for that report. How excited did that get you? Well, I am lucky to be joined now by 2-time Olympian with Team USA, Erin Jackson. She won a gold medal at the 2022 Beijing Games in the 500-meter speed skating event. She is a hopeful for these Milan Games. Erin, good morning. Thank you so much for being with us.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me.
We are so excited to talk to you and just point out the fact that you made history at the last Winter Olympics in 2022. You became the first Black woman to win an Olympic gold medal in speed skating. I mean, what goes through your head when you hear that and when you look ahead to Milan Cortina 2026?
Yeah, I mean, it still feels a little bit surreal to think, that all that happened. And I'm super excited. Really looking forward to hopefully defending that medal in about a year.
Absolutely. So there's this whole road, right, to what happens between now and the Olympics. Let's talk about some of it. Recently, just a couple weeks ago, you got a medal at the ISU World Championships in Milwaukee. You took home silver in the 500-meter race there. Walk us through, kind of these milestones along the way to Milan, these big competitions that really matter, that help set you up to make the U.S. team. What's this going to look like? And tell us about what just happened in Milwaukee.
Yeah, Milwaukee was amazing. Just being able to race on home ice, in front of an American crowd, was really awesome. And yeah, all of these events are just like little stepping stones. All these count for points toward, qualifying for the Olympics. And yeah, just really making sure that I'm honing in on my technique and on everything. Just making sure I'm super focused right now.
Yeah, what is training like in the lead up to an Olympics to try to make the team?
Yes. So in the summers, we do a lot of, base training, a lot of weightlifting, cycling, things like that. And then once we get into September, the race season, then it's a lot of, really focused race specific training, a lot of things on ice, working on our speed and our technique and our endurance and all of that. So it's a lot of fun. Really loving my team, really loving the training environment.
Amazing. And Erin, I understand you're in Milan right now, right?
I am. Yeah, I'm in Milan. Just had some pizza a little while ago, some cappuccinos. It's been great.
It's got to be motivating, right, to be there right now, to be like, I got to make it back here when we're in the games.
It is definitely, yeah. I was just like outside in front of the Duomo earlier, and I could see the little pop-up stands where they had some ice rinks set up. So yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be an amazing place for the Olympics.
Is the city already just totally highlighting the fact that the Olympics will be there in a year?
It is, yeah. I've seen, banners up all over the city, and yeah, I think everyone's getting excited. They've got the countdown and everything.
Absolutely. Aaron, what do you hope to achieve over this next year as you train? And if you make it to the Olympics, just what do you hope to achieve next in your sport?
Yeah, I mean, number one, I just hope to have a lot of fun, which is the easiest part. I have a blast doing what I do. I've been a skater pretty much my whole life. So that's the main thing, have a lot of fun. And then, the best case scenario would be to defend that medal with another gold in the 500-meter distance, and then maybe see what I can do in the 1,000. But yeah, definitely having a lot of fun.
Aaron Jackson, we are so excited for you. We'll keep watching your story. We'd love to chat with you throughout the process. Enjoy Milan and good luck.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Coming up, the latest read on inflation here in America as folks across the country reel from high prices at the gas pump and grocery store. And of course, who better to crunch those new numbers than our economic dream team, our little bobbleheads, NBC's Brian Chung and Investopedia's Caleb Silver. They're watching your wallet. Thank you, Brian. Love you. That's coming up next. We're back now with some breaking economy news. We've got new numbers out this morning. They show prices are rising higher than was expected. Consumer prices rose 0.5% in January on a month-over-month basis, but a 3% year-over-year. This comes after Fed Chair Jerome Powell called the economy strong overall during remarks before Congress yesterday. He emphasized the Federal Reserve is not in a rush to lower interest rates more. Breaking it all down for us, we've got our economic dream team, NBC News business and data correspondent Brian Chung, Investopedia editor-in-chief Caleb Silver. Good morning to both of you. Brian, I'm going to start with you over at the big board to give us some of these numbers. Tell us what they tell us about how inflation is continuing to evolve.
Yeah, and again, inflation measures how much prices increased over the course of a year, and on a yearly basis between January of this year and January of last year, prices rose by 3%, according to the government. That was above what economists had expected. They were expecting something closer to 2.8%. So that's certainly not good news, especially when you consider we're going in the wrong direction. We want this number, inflation, to go down, and instead it went up by 0.1%. Over the yearly chart of these yearly rates, you have seen this steady rise from actually about the mid 2% to now, as I just mentioned, the 3% mark, which we just hit in January. Again, that is an improvement from what we saw in the beginning of 2024. But again, what economists say is healthy is something a little bit closer to 2%. So a lot of progress to be made on that front. When we break out the categories, these are now monthly changes. How much did prices change between December and January? Food prices, to no surprise, up 0.4%. Energy costs, we did see gasoline prices marginally go higher as well. Those prices up 1.1% on a monthly basis. But shelter, this is the biggest cost for most Americans, just putting a roof over your head. We saw an acceleration in the monthly rate of price increases, 0.3% between November and December, now up 0.4%. That's one that's a little bit concerning, and that we'll have to watch in the months to come, Savannah.
Caleb, what does this tell you about the state of the economy?
Yeah, things are hot. Prices are hot. Don't forget, in January, there's a lot of price resetting. This is when a lot of retailers do what they call their factor adjustments, right? When they raise prices on everything. They've seen your Netflix subscription rise, but you also see product prices rise. It's the year-over-year increase. There's some of that. But also these food prices, when you think about eggs, that's a big component of what we shop for. That's a big part of this. And the shelter that Brian just mentioned, that's 30% of CPI. And we know that's becoming a real burden for homeowners and people that are trying to buy a home or just pay the rent. So that's a very interesting thing to watch that just keeps getting stronger. When you strip out food and energy prices, which is the core CPI, that's at 3.3%. So this is a lot hotter than expected. And the Fed, as we know, had been lowering interest rates, raising interest rates to try to bring inflation down. There's now this battle of what are they going to do next when they meet.
Brian, some of these numbers that you mentioned are concerning. They're, of course, just like the essentials, food, shelter. What else are you seeing trends in those categories?
Yeah, well, we were just rolling the video of eggs. That's the one that most people are thinking of. Let's take a look at egg prices based off of how the government measured it. Again, what we're looking at here on the left side are the January 2024 numbers. People are saying, oh, my gosh, I wish I could get eggs for $2.50. The average price now, $4.95. Just on an anecdotal basis, I saw eggs for over $10 here in New York City just this weekend. Milk prices, $4.03. So that's basically going sideways from a year ago. That's certainly good news. Gasoline prices, $3.21, about the same as this time a year ago. So again, prices across the board about the same, with the exception of a number of items that we do notice the price tags for, noticeably eggs, which are actually almost double now as of compared to a year ago. So these are the prices that Americans care about. Although I want to point out, on a adjusted basis when it comes to wages, which we got from the employment report last week, at least wages are outpacing the rate of overall inflation. Average wage gains around 4% on a yearly basis, and this report shows that prices are going up by 3%. But again, 4 larger than 3 on an average basis, at least. That's good news.
We also talked earlier this morning about coffee going up. That just really sucks, doesn't it? All right, Caleb, let's talk about what we heard yesterday, because anything that we can kind of glean from comments that Fed Chair Jerome Powell makes is helpful to understand what may happen when it comes to any type of interest rate cuts, though we're not really expecting that. But he was testifying yesterday in front of the Senate Banking Committee. What stood out to you?
Well, he says he's in no hurry to lower interest rates, and this report is only going to cement that. The economy's strong. He keeps saying that, but prices are higher than the Fed wants. The Fed wants inflation somewhere in the 2 to 2.5% range. We have not been able to get down there and stay down there. But the economy is still relatively strong when you look at the labor market. Brian mentioned the wage gains. That's a big component of what the Fed watches right now. But the Fed is going to hold pat at least as long as it can, even though President Trump has said as recently as last night and this morning, he wants interest rates to be lowered to account for the tariffs he's imposing on all these goods we bring into the United States.
All right, Caleb Silver, Brian Chung, thank you both for helping us on this breaking news. Well, let's stay on your wallet. Spirit Airlines is shedding the gate on its latest merger bid. CNBC's Silvana Henao has that and other money news for us. Hey, Silvana.
Hey, Savannah, good morning. GSO Spirit Airlines rejecting a takeover offer from Frontier, calling the bid less beneficial to its shareholders than its ongoing restructuring plan. Now, Spirit, which filed for bankruptcy last year, expects to complete that overhaul this quarter. Now, Spirit and Frontier had been in merger talks since at least 2022. JetBlue jumped into the fray and prevailed with its own buyout offer, but that was blocked by a judge on antitrust concerns. People bet more on the Super Bowl in New Jersey than Nevada for the first time as gamblers turned out for the game featuring the Philadelphia Eagles. The state's gaming authorities say betting at casinos, racetracks, and apps in New Jersey rose 19% from last year to nearly $169 million. Nevada reporting $151 million in Super Bowl bets. That's a 20% drop from last year. Now, the Eagles won over the Chiefs, delivering a big win for sportsbooks, who kept $47 million of the total bets placed. And RIP Duo. Duolingo announcing its mascot, Duo the Owl, has unexpectedly passed away in its latest brand marketing campaign. The language learning app posting on social media that authorities are investigating the cause of death, saying, "We're aware he had many enemies, but we kindly ask you refrain from sharing why you hate him in the comments." Duolingo adding, "To be honest, he probably died waiting for you to do your lesson, but what do we know?" The statement also jokingly requesting fans to include their credit card number in the comments to automatically sign up for a paid Duolingo Max subscription in Duo's memory. Talk about marketing.
That exactly. That was a lot. All right, Silvana, thank you very much.
You got it.
Well, we are now just days away from the return of one of the most talked about shows in recent years. This is HBO's White Lotus. The third season that's coming out viewers will be transported to Thailand, where it's safe to say not all of the characters will have their dream vacation. NBC News correspondent Liz Kreutz had a chance to sit down with some of the cast ahead of the premiere.
Welcome to the White Lotus.
At the end of the week, you will be an entirely different person.
This third installment of Mike White's beloved HBO series brings another season of drama, death, and deception, this time to Thailand.
Welcome to the White Lotus in Thailand.
The ensemble cast includes a new round of one-percenters checking into the luxury resort.
This place is clutch.
I did my research.
Always right.
Including Parker Posey and Jason Isaacs as a wealthy couple with Southern drawls as thick as their secrets.
I'm from the South, so I couldn't wait to get my hands on a Southern woman. And I love Southern women. They're so passionate. They're so funny. Playing this woman was a blast.
Saxon works for his father. They love it.
It's Tim's dream.
How wonderful for you. How wonderful for you.
While some White Lotus fans are still mourning the loss of the beloved character Tanya McCoy, played by Jennifer Coolidge in the first 2 seasons, some are already saying Posey's Victoria Ratliff bears some resemblance.
She's Delulu. Have you heard of Delulu? Have you heard of it? And what does it mean, delusional and loony at the same time, right? Delulu.
A little Delulu.
Yeah, which I love.
Playing the Ratliff kids are Sarah Catherine Hook, Sam Nivola, and Patrick Schwarzenegger, the real-life son of Arnold Schwarzenegger and our own Maria Shriver.
Patrick, is it true your family are huge White Lotus fans?
They are. They're massive fans. We would watch it every Sunday as a family.
That's so cute.
So
And so then what was it like when you got cast on the show?
I was trying to keep it a secret, and then my mom was like, "You're pregnant. Abby, you're pregnant." And she was like, "No, no, no, no." So like, "Why are you acting so weird?" And then I was like, "I'm going to Thailand for 7 months. I booked White Lotus." And then my mom started she screamed and started sobbing, and then my sister started sobbing, and then I started crying. It was like a domino effect.
Many of the new cast members say they were equally obsessed with the show, including Leslie Bibb, who joins Carrie Coons and Michelle Monaghan as 3 friends on a girls' trip.
You guys, should I open a bottle?
Heck yeah!
Let's open a bottle. These are the moments we gotta celebrate. 100%.
When I got cast, I mean, you would have thought, like, I literally threw the covers over my head and I started just screaming in a hotel room, like, ah! Also, like, I didn't know what was gonna happen in Thailand.
No snake falling on my head.
One familiar face, Natasha Rothwell, returning as Belinda, the spa manager from the White Lotus Maui in season 1.
What was it like for you to watch season 2 as a fan, as a viewer?
I was probably the most rabid fan of season 2. I remember the moment Jennifer died, I screamed and like threw my phone across the room, grabbed my phone, texted Jennifer. I'm like, "Holy, what?" And then, yeah, she was just like, "I couldn't tell you."
Our hotel is the best in the world.
It turns out living and filming at a 5-star resort doesn't come cheap.
I heard it was expensive at the end of the day, though.
Only expensive.
On-screen lovers Walton Goggin and Amy Lou Wood say while their rooms were covered, their room service habits were not.
I got addicted to coconuts, like the fresh coconuts, and coconut, and then sang for the bill at the end, and it was like thousands of coconuts, and they weren't cheap. Yeah.
I did that with Thai spiced cashews.
Yeah.
That was my thing.
So basically your paycheck went to your room service bill.
My paycheck, all of that went to it.
We ladies say quite often, what happens in Thailand stays in Thailand.
Yeah.
Can you reveal anything about what happened in Thailand?
I can. Switch the cameras off. I'll tell you.
Oh my gosh, Liz, so cool you got to talk to them. Thank you so much. Well, we can all watch the first episode of season 3 on HBO this Sunday at 9 p.m. Coming up, we are hitting the road with an artist who's taking his canvas to the streets with a little help from GPS technology. Stick around, we'll explain next. Finally this hour, an art-loving California runner has found a way to combine his 2 passions. With the help of GPS technology, he maps out intricate designs, and the results are amazing. Reporter Garvin Thomas from our Bay Area affiliate has more on this story.
On any given day in the city of San Francisco, you will find plenty of runners out on the streets. Some looking to improve their times, others looking to lose a little weight. Precious few, though, doing what Lenny Mon is doing.
I like to say my canvas is San Francisco.
You see, Lenny is not just running, he's creating art.
I love running, I love art, so this is a nice way to combine them in both.
Now, of those 2 loves, Lenny says art came before running.
When I was a kid, I was notorious for drawing caricatures of friends. Like, I'd look at you and draw you, and I have a real skill with that. And then I sort of kind of like forgot about that until about a little over 10 years ago.
By that point, in 2015, Lenny was already an experienced runner. And like many others, he tracked his runs using GPS. And when he plotted that information on a map,
it sometimes could look like something, sometimes accidental, telephone or a dinosaur or something. And then I thought, well, why don't I begin with the end in mind and design something and then purposely run it, and boom, there you go.
So Lenny takes hours drawing on a map of the city. He used to use paper, but now does it on a computer, and then heads out to follow that exact route.
When I'm actually doing this, I'm running down the street, looking at my iPhone. To other people, it looks like I'm just, checking social media or something, but I'm following a map.
The results? Well, they're nothing short of amazing. Lenny's latest creation, a snake in honor of the Lunar New Year. It took him 10 hours and 40 miles to complete. San Francisco's famous hills adding some 5,000 feet in elevation in the process. Lenny does about one a month these days and has acquired quite a dedicated following for his creations online. He loves it when people like his work. It means even more, though, when they are moved to join him. Not necessarily on a run, but in finding their own unique path to expressing themselves.
I mean, you could do painting or any other kind of artistic endeavors to think in that realm, and that's what I really like, is inspiring people to be artistic in any way.
Truly just amazing. I can't even imagine trying to do that. Our thanks to Garvin Thomas for that report. Well, that's going to do it for this hour of Morning News Now. Don't go anywhere, though. The news continues right now.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.